Clubhouse has been a popular pick in Hyper Series. I have to say, I mean, I was looking through the VODs that we're putting up to YouTube, and man, Clubhouse is very popular. I have to say, a lot of teams are really picking it. So I was hoping to see something a little bit different, but hey, guess people like their what's it called? What's the word? Is that a niche pick? It's their niche pick,
No, it's
right?
their comfort pick. It's their
Oh,
safe pick,
comfort
you
pick.
know? It's something you
Yeah,
know you'll always be decent at. We'll
that's what.
see if Toronto can be decent on this map. I think so Vancouver's played this map twice already. Day 1 they faced Miami on it and they lost 7-2. And then they played the Rays on Border, which they won 7-2. The Paradox, have they played this map yet? They played Chalet.
They
I don't
played
remember. Who did
Charlotte.
they play last time? Where did they play last time?
Last map I might be. Oh boy.
Was it Club? It wasn't. Was it?
You really want me? I would love to. I could check for you. You
We should
can
start
say
tracking
something.
that stat, actually.
I mean, we have it. It's just I don't have it in front of me.
Oh, that's
I don't.
okay.
I don't have it in front of me. They
That's alright.
played. Oh, they did. They played the tidal wave on Clubhouse.
Okay, and they lost
Yes.
7-3.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I'm pretty sure they lost the first game 7-4.
Yes.
We're gonna go with that. They
Yeah.
lost the first game 7-4, both times winning 3 rounds on their defending half. So they're starting on defense here. If they win 3 rounds again, then that's just, simple. Like, it's pretty simple.
I mean, they're starting on defense again. They seem to really like this defensive start.
They do, but sometimes it's
So
not their choice, right? Depending on how
yeah,
the map ban phase goes. But
but we'll
yeah, they're
see. I
starting
mean,
on
if they're able
defense.
to do anything.
They started on defense 3 times. Every time they've played this season so far, they've started on defense. That's maybe it's part of their strat. That's the only way they're getting rounds onto the board so far.
I mean, if they just go 6-0 on defense, then you just have
They
to get
just need
one.
one. You just need one.
You
But
need
their
one.
attacks have been so lackluster. I'm afraid one is hard to come by.
You can't even buy one if you wanted to.
I mean, when you don't drone, yeah. I know chat is probably going to be going crazy today about droning. So let's see if
I
that
mean,
rings
we know.
true.
I think Vancouver's gonna drone. I think that's one of Vancouver. I think will drone, but the Calgary Dub Snoozer still take the cake for the droning.
I think this is a litmus test for the Void, honestly. I think the Void can't afford to lose this game because that would mean they've dropped to what some people consider like this game will really balance. Are they in the upper echelon of teams, the upper half, or the bottom half of the league? If they beat the Paradox, it means they're at least a clear cut above the bottom of the table team. So at the moment, the Ottawa
Yeah.
Stormwatch, the Toronto Paradox, the Boston Barrage. However, if they beat them handedly, I have to say, oh, first frag comes out. Hey, Luke shuts down Arabs, or shuts down Isle of Arabs 69420. That's a good opening frag for the Void.
Did you mention to our lovely viewers that the Rays branding has been pulled?
Yeah, so the Rays Esports has pulled their support from the R6 Hyper Series, and as a result, um, their senior management has been ousted from the league, but the roster has been allowed to remain. The roster remains, but playing under a new name, the Ottawa Stormwatch. Munch refrags takes out Doonies for 4 footing here.
So yeah, if you any Ottawa fans, it's the same team, different logo, different colors, but same team. So don't be afraid. The Ottawa Stormwatch are still in this league as we look towards. I mean, this is a very formidable setup here from the Azami if she gets through, and she does not.
Voisty secures his frag. That will give Vancouver Rafters control. Fowie and I think he has someone for company. Oh, wait, Luke, right through the floor with the buck. C8 SFW shuts down another one. Can he get a second one? Very, very nearly, and out come the red pings. That's what drones do for you folks, and there's so many targets. This is like playing Solus when everyone's on their drone above or below you. I was so entranced watching that round, I forgot to switch perspectives. The Vancouver Void take round number 1 very handedly. The Paradox defense not living up to its name.
The The drones are there, right there. Just even those two red pings, that swings the whole round. You see that thing, you've been spotted, you got to run, puts you in that precarious position, and that's it. And that's how Vancouver win that round. And the difference of the drones again come in.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, look at how many red pings they had to work with, Skittles. You know,
A lot.
if I'm Buck, oh, oh man,
Oh, you're
euphoria,
oh yeah,
euphoria.
you have everything you could ask for there.
It's short of a lion ping. Like, you have everything you need. Which obviously, I don't think a lion ping will ever come back. The only way I could see
I
it
don't
coming back is a grim rework, but we're
I
not
don't
going to
s-
talk about that here.
I don't see launch day lion happening anytime soon.
I don't know. Oh, okay, I'm telling you, Skittle. I'm gonna say it. I've said this like every stream, or maybe every stream, maybe a couple streams before. Make it when you walk through bees. I think that'd be balanced.
I mean, yeah, that could work.
That'd be incredibly powerful. I think
Yeah, a little bit.
that'd be fine. Don't change anything else, because that ability is so powerful. If you changed anything else, he'd be broken, which we don't want, obviously. Speaking of broken operators, I saw a suggestion for a Blackbeard rework on the Rainbow Six. Do you know what it was?
I don't
They were
want to
like,
know what it was.
what if we turned the shield upside down so his head was exposed, but it guarded his chest?
I don't know how that
I,
helps him, but okay.
I mean, they'd raise the shield health to make up for it. Rev is the first to fall to Vwisty's gun. The Thermite gets the Fragmite, I guess, gets the opening frag. And Vancouver Void, opening frag 2 rounds in a row, Skittles. When we know how important that can be.
Very. It doesn't even look like that Toronto's going to attempt to hold this wall. I mean, they brought the Maverick. I mean, I guess it's a pretty safe play. I mean, you're not going to waste. You'd rather pick off. So they let him get the wall, even though it's uncontested. We'll see if that strat works, bringing in the extra gun. Lovely angle here from Munch. I have to say, if someone gets up on that rappel, I'm sure Munch gets a freebie. Haxi gets killed by Kuyuda, and they have Rafters control.
Yeah, interesting about Koyura, time and time again, he's been like, guys, I'm the support player. He's on Yada. He is the best ranking operator, one of the best ranking operators in the game right now, and the best entry, I'd say. Zwisty's in sight. Vancouver's got sight control, and the case is going down courtesy of Doonies. Zwisty is watching the construction angle. He shuts down Arabs. It's a 5v1. It could be a flawless for the Void. It's not going to be. In short order, though, the Vancouver Void close it out 2-0 in 2 quick successive rounds.
First, this one, those 2 rounds, very convincing. From the side of the Void, I wouldn't be surprised if Toronto goes downstairs here, and it looks like they are, and gonna do so. Just need one round here if you're Toronto. Just one round, get yourself settled down, uh, get everything in order, and I think they'll be all right. But so far, it looks like the Void are playing as the Void do.
hmm I mean, the main thing, man, the story of the Paradox for anyone new to the league. Oh man, if I were to compare them to a professional sports organization, it would have to be. I'm trying to think of who's had so much promise, has been around for forever, and has always just stopped short of actually
Toronto
winning
Maple Leaf.
anything. No, that's a different case. The Paradox make out of the first round of the playoffs, so it
Oh,
can't be the
okay.
Maple Leafs. I don't know, I'm thinking like no, because they're all. I don't know. So, for anyone not. While we fill in this dead time in the prep phase, because, to be honest, not a lot of teams in this league do anything super interesting during our prep phases, or at least not ones near the bottom of the table. The Paradox are their oldest franchise, been around since season 1, Skiddly, former pro for them. Yeah, I remember they've made the grand finals in season 1, lost to the Exotics. And then they made the conference finals in season 2, lost to the Exotics again. It's like the story of the Raptors and the Cavaliers. They just could never get over that Exotics hurdle. And I think, honestly, Skittles, we'll get back to this in the next prep phase, but I think a mental block was a big part of it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in the on the other side of this 2 minutes and 25 seconds at the minimum. But if you're looking at this, if you're looking at just the pure operators, there's your opener from Munch. As I'm talking, that was just about to say. If you're looking at this from an operator standpoint, I think Toronto's brought a good stack, and them spreading out numbers across the map as A. Luke takes a little bit of damage. Here comes the second body, and Munch is just gonna run away and take his
Oh,
pick and run into Jackal C7 at the bottom of the stairs. Numbers even.
excellent pincer maneuver coming out from the Vancouver Void right there. They knew where he was. They just had to make it a matter of pushing him out of position, making sure there was a gun ready to catch him there. I love Arabs. He'll find those two Vancouver members with his cardiac sensor. Cardiac Johnson deployed as Doonies makes his way down main stairs, MK14 in hand. He peeks that mirror window, but the reaction time's far too slow coming out from Haxie. Or at least I think that was Haxie. It was, but the Nitro Cell doesn't come out too slow. He blows Doonies to smithereens, and it's a 4-3 man advantage for the Toronto Paradox, who find themselves in the driver's seat for the first time this game. Hey Luke, he's making his headways into kitchen. He's going to make quick work of that plywood floor. As out comes a skeleton key. He attempts to make some angles. He's loved the vertical play so far this game. Already got a kill on it in round 1. He's going to look to replicate that in round 2. And when so much of the floor on so many sites is wood, you have to ask yourself, why not bring Buck almost every round? And when he had frag grenades, that was the case, if we're being honest. That's an interesting Azami setup.
This is an interesting Azami setup, but I mean, I personally I haven't seen this, but
No, I haven't.
I do like I kind of like the setup. I mean, it gives them a lot of cover from these big angles that you see a lot of people die from, but it looks like the push is gonna come from the other site.
Red pings out. Koyura knows he's behind the bar. He will find Haxie. A-Luke finds LG. The Vancouver guns come alive. It's all down to Arabs and Ayo Rev stuck inside of Arsenal Room as they attempt a retake on their own site after the other bomb site fell. Arabs falls to Koyura C7. Ayo Rev stuck in an impossible 3v1 situation. And the Vancouver Void go up 3-0 at in the first half. They're going to look to extend their advantage, and the Paradox are going to look to tie it up. So
That
far, nothing too interesting.
no, that round looked good at the start. Again, just sold out. But going back to what we were saying about in the Toronto Baltimore hurdle, being as a player in that, I mean, I'll be the first one to say, I mean, Baltimore was an amazing team that we played against. I mean, obviously at the time,
Back-to-back champions.
back-to-back champions. So I mean, we did play. I mean, we fought them hard the second time. The first time they kind of just ran all over us, but the second time we fought them hard. But I think again, yeah, it was just a mental block. You saw Baltimore, and it was like, all right, you know they're good. You know you're gonna have to outsmart them in order to win. It's just
Yeah,
that we never were able to do that.
it's like if you statsed your opponents in ranked and saw 5 champs, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, the hell are we gonna? But I'm talking like brutal swarm champs,
Yeah, yeah.
not the malarkey we've got now. That's your word of the day, guys.
Just make a channel for that in Discord. Vax words of the day, malarkey.
Yeah, malarkey, modicum. What else do I don't
There's
know.
a lot of them.
There's
There's a
a
lot of
lot
good
of them.
ones.
Yeah, at that point you see those ranks and you go, oh my god, like how are we gonna win this? And then you chalk up every lost one, every lost gunfight to, oh my god, he's champ. I can't compete. I'm plat. But like, I don't think, looking back, I don't think you're actually as out of your depth as you guys thought.
Yeah.
I, if we're being honest, the
Looking,
Baltimore
yeah.
Exotics are a middle of the pack team in season 3.
Yeah, looking back at it now, I don't think it was, that big of a discrepancy. But I think again, it was just like you said, it's just a mental thing.
Yeah,
But we'll see.
absolutely.
We'll never know unless we do a heritage game, as Arabs gets taken out by Fragmite on the Vwisty, and Vancouver just liquidly pushing the site here. And
Ye-
obviously, Twisty just dummied me. He's now gonna go back to the up top and do his thing.
Yeah, map control in Vancouver's hands. The last remaining members of the Paradox are all downstairs in separate corners of the objective. Hatches are going to get opened up. Bana was not brought this round. They've opted to use exothermic charges to open up what's necessary. Voisti's going to attempt to open up Haxie's head with bullets, and he's successful with his job. He takes out one. He takes out two. Can he get a third? He is going to find a third. Can he get a fourth? Can he get an ace on the round? Can the Thermite become Fragmite for this final round? Of the 4 rounds that we've played, it's not the final round of anything. It is going to be an ace for Voisti on Fragmite. Get the 5.56 out of this man's hands, because he just obliterated the Paradox with it.
You gotta applaud him. That's a beautiful round from Voisti. Just walked in, picked up the first there on the roam, came down, saw the setup, and just like, all right, I'll go reconvene upstairs. I'll drone, and then I'm just gonna walk in and kill everybody. That's kind of the mindset that the Void have, though. You can't even lie. I mean, going back to when they played in Season 2, their mindset was, we're not going to be the most strategy-heavy team, but we're just going to beat you on our gun skill, and I could speak to experience. They are good in every single first-person shooter game there is in the world, these guys. Great. They are amazing at everything. You can just run down the list. Destiny, Siege, COD. One guy on this team is good at one of those games, and you put them together in a siege stack, and they play off each other, and there you go. But that's a great round.
Yeah, speaking of heritage and how we know the talents that Vancouver has present on their roster if they're taking things seriously. One of the biggest, how do I say this? One of the biggest unknowns, I say, is what happens if Vancouver doesn't essentially drop out in the second half of Season 2. Because if you remember, for anyone not caught up on our league's lore, the Void were solidly... The Void and the Nova battled for second and third in the Western Conference all season. San Antonio reigned first all season. It wasn't close. By a couple play days in, it was already a couple play days away from the end. It was mathematically impossible for anyone to overtake them. So the Void and the Nova battled for second, essentially. But I think about 3-4 weeks before the end of the season, the Void basically dropped out of contention. They just stopped showing up, I'm pretty sure, if my memory serves correct. Back me up on that, Skittles, if you remember.
I think so. Yeah.
Because the 4 teams that made the playoffs were the Spice, the Nova, the Ascension.
Oh, yeah, because this was 6, right?
6 teams per conference. The Ascension, and who was the final team?
It might have very well been Vancouver.
It was the Las Vegas Sevens.
Oh, the Sevens,
who did not show up to their first round game. And as such, the Nova got a free... The Spice, got a free pass.
Yep, you're right.
I don't know what happens if the Void takes second or third. As Koyura comes in, he shuts down TM Munch, the top fragger for the Paradox. Paradox's fragging numbers are way down, folks. They need to get those up if they want to have any slight hope of winning as another player for the Toronto-based roster goes down.
I think you'll be able to get them up, though, as long as they're careful about this. Yeah.
Ooh, Rev, he takes out Fowie. That gives Toronto the health... Oh, never mind. Koyura's gonna... I did speak too soon. Koyura shuts my prediction down as they equal up the manpower count. Oh, actually, but the health still remains in Toronto's hands. Construction control relinquished to the Void as LG plays inside of the Logi wall. Arabs plays Jim, and Haxie remains in the bathroom. They've got beeper proximity alarms ready to alert them at a moment's notice to any intrusion inside of sight. But I think Haxie's bullets are going to be the first to meet them. Oh, a Luke! Stuck in the prone animation, collects LG, adds another kill to his tally. It's a 3v2 advantage. Koyura, he knows the location of Haxie in the bathroom. I love Arabs is going to play through those gym footholes. And they're going to hope this mirror one doesn't get turned against them. The beepers go off. It alerts them to Voisti's intrusion into sight. And through the wall, Koyura secures I Love Arabs. 5-0 for the Vancouver Void. They could flawless the half with a win next round.
I don't see Toronto doing anything in this game. I'm just gonna put it out there bright and early. You can feel free to debate me on that, but I don't see anything happening.
Yeah, I don't. This is it's not very much a competition. It looks like Vancouver's doing strat dry runs. I don't know what Toronto's problem is. 'Cause
Strat.
again, on paper,
The,
Skittles.
the the funny thing was is that me, excuse me, me and co-owner Skip were talking about this today. He's like, we field this roster. It's got a couple champs, a rest for diamonds. They seem like they got everything they need. They got their support. They got their flex. They got their gunner. And then they come into the league, and it doesn't seem to click for whatever reason.
What's
But
missing?
they play together. What's missing, right? So I don't know personally. I can't really know because obviously I don't play with them on a regular basis. So maybe they need an IGL. Maybe they don't have that.
I'm gonna
But
be honest. I'm gonna be honest here. I thought this was gonna be a close game. I don't know.
I
Something in me just said, you know what?
no.
I think Toronto could take the fight. I think, maybe it was just a bad stretch. Maybe Vancouver's gonna be off. Maybe we see day one Vancouver come back. No, we.
When I was talking to Koyuta, and he was saying the same thing. He's like, I told him, I said, I think you guys are gonna run away with this one. He's like, I don't know. He's like, I think it'll be pretty close. And
That's.
I mean,
I had an inclination to that. That's another word of the day. Inclination.
there
Um,
you go.
but so far I've been proven wrong because this game could not be any further apart. So, Isle of Arabs, he gets the opening frag. He shuts down Fowie. Toronto's gotten the opening frag in half these rounds and has failed to capitalize.
I was just about to mention that they have had the opening frag in half of the rounds, but they have not.
Done anything with it.
No.
A Luke, and obviously it comes down to instant refrags. A Luke shuts down the bandit tricking Haxi. Not sure why you'd continue to try to bandit trick when Mavericks burned out the walls. AO is going to be playing on rafters with no Azami cover. A little bit risky here. And he's using a gun that I wouldn't trust at long ranges like this, but maybe he does.
You would use the AS-12 in this situation.
I would use the DCSG-12. And
Oh yeah.
excellent pincer coming out from two angles. I Love Arabs and his teammate, TM Munch. Pincer out a Luke, who's been a thorn in their side. AO Rev shuts down Koyura.
Out
And
of
for the
distance.
first time, the Toronto Paradox show signs of life. There is a pulse, guys, but it's not the one in the game. It's the sound of the Paradox coming to life here, and hopefully taking a round to give this game some semblance of competition. Ayo Rev shuts down Doonies. That's a double on the round for the alibi. It all comes down to Vwisty. But don't count him out yet. He's killed all of them once. He can do it
Here
again.
we go.
He gets one. Ayo Rev shut down, but he doesn't spot he doesn't spot I Love Arabs on the roam in the corner of his eye. Through Garage walks the Oryx, and down into the grave goes the Thermite. The Toronto Paradox put themselves on the board for the first time this game. It's 5-1.
No, we still haven't. We are yet. I think we are yet to have a complete sweep, right? 7-0.
No, we have had a complete sweep.
Oh, we have.
The Miami Neon 7-0 the Anchorage Avalanche.
Oh, yes, that is. Yep, you are correct. I just checked our results channel. Yes, you are right.
Crazy.
So what did I don't know. I'm trying to. What did you see from that round that they didn't do the first 5 rounds?
How
To
do I
me,
not be rude about this?
uh, be as neutral as you possibly can, Mister.
Okay, never mind. That was a stupid thing to say
Because
because I thought about it like more in depth after you asked the question.
because I know what I want to say, but I want to hear what you
Okay,
have
you
to
go.
say.
You're the analyst. You go first, please. Go ahead.
Okay, the first thing I have to say is that they spread their bodies out. They put guys everywhere. I think they had 2 guys on site at most, and then they had 1 guy in the basement, 1 guy on rafters, 1 guy on red stairs, and the other 2 on site. The, I've said it a lot with a lot of the teams that aren't heavy gunners or heavy strat oriented, like the Neon and like the other side, the Dub Snoozers are. You need to spread bodies out because having those bodies out on defense, once you shoot the cameras, that's it. having those bodies spread out is free audio and free uh, visual, assuming that you see him, and you guys can condense on it like you saw Munch and Arabs do on the Thermite, which I think was Wisty there at the end of the round. So I think that was what I saw. Main difference. You can go before they get into the building here.
I mean, they played off of each other more. They didn't take just ones. I think the biggest kill of that round is on A Luke. They didn't take just one-on-ones, you know. They knew they outplayed the Vancouver attackers. Simply, they knew where A Luke was. And they're like, listen, he can't peek both of us, and if we both peek him at the same time, and that's twice the chance we kill him before he kills us. And they did it, and they shut him down. That's just one example of actually working with your teammates. The worst thing, and I'm guilty of this too, I can't even lie, is watching your teammate you know they're going into a gunfight, and instead of helping them, you wait for them to die, so you assess the situation after they die.
It's too late.
Yeah, which is too late.
Way too late.
Alright, it's a dirt push coming out from Munch and AO Rev with the Thermite and the Osa respectively, and we're going to see a secondary push coming out from Blue. I Love Arabs and Haxi. Or sorry, Haxi's going to the kitchen, I Love Arabs, and I believe it's LG coming in from Blue side as AO Rev takes damage from that goo mine. Munch takes over on the peeking duties through that pesky dirt wood installations. Oh, they're looking at each other. Oh, he sprays and gets the wrong person. Munch takes out Vwisty. Big pick.
That was I thought he saw the Azami ponytail, but I guess he didn't. But still, a kill is a kill there in that situation, and we'll see what Toronto could do. Minute to go.
Yeah, so we've seen both teams bring the Azami, and as you can see, extremely different setup coming out from Koyura with the Kiba barriers. Munch takes out Doonies. Toronto has the team we've said can't attack so far is doing much better on attack. They're looking way better on attack than they ever did at any point during defense. LG takes some damage. In blue, he gets shut down by Fowie. The Toronto attack is looking like it's falling apart here as members take damage from all angles. They've gotten map control, but now they haven't really done anything with it. Haxi's coming out for a flank. He does catch the Legion off guard. He catches two of them off guard, but the shotgun's enough to put him in the ground as A Luke takes him out. Munch free frags on a Koyura as AO Rev attempts to get the case down.
There's a tall pass for A Luke. A shoddy. As I say that he gets killed, but Toronto pushed the pace there after the opening frag, and I think it doesn't look like Vancouver expected that at all.
Absolutely not. Especially they knew where Haxi was. They hit him. They shot the Habana, and yet no one had any eyes on. I mean, obviously everyone's engaged in their own gunfights and engagements, so there was no one at the moment to give a call out. That I don't even know if main cam was up, to be honest, but if it was, that's a breakdown in communication because there was one member dead of Vancouver at the time, and if it wasn't, which it probably was, there was just no one had any idea someone was literally in between both bomb sites.
But they got that opening and then they pushed the pace, which I mean to them, if you're gonna do that, you got to decide that right away, right? If you're gonna say I'm gonna push the pace, and right after Munch got that opening, you got to do it because otherwise it doesn't work. But we'll see if they're able to string a couple in a row here because obviously Vancouver's one off of map point. Sorry. So if Toronto's able to string a couple together here, bring this to a 5-3 or a 5-4, it's a completely different game.
Maybe it'll be a 7-3 again.
Or or that. But
7-4, 7-3 is Toronto's favorite scoreline.
But again, those rounds are usually on defense. Yeah,
now I haven't been paying attention. I've seen some more drone work, a little bit more, but we'll have to see if that trend continues in their play coming up in these rounds. Now we're on cash again, a site Toronto. So they haven't attacked the site yet. Obviously, it's my bungle.
I was just about to say, I think another thing with the Toronto team is that, I mean, obviously I don't want to make excuses for them and whatever. I mean, it's obviously part of my org and this and that, but a day before Hyper Series started, the original roster that was supposed to play for the Paradox dropped out, and TM Munch was nice enough to take it over, and he built a roster overnight, pretty much. So that first game, I don't think they had much chemistry together in a competitive setting. I think the second game, again, they played a good Tampa Bay Tidal Wave side who's very strat oriented. And I think this game, we're starting to see them make the turn to a more competitive team. I mean, again, they're playing a Vancouver side that, again, is no pushover, no slouch. But I think we're starting to see them make the turn. A lovely trick there by Doonies to get rid of two of the Selma charges that Ace tossed.
Sorry, folks. I'll be right back.
I'll be more than happy to take this over. So as it stands right now, Doonies is holding the bandit trick, and the two Osa shields have been abandoned outside of the breach. LG's gonna make his first phone call. It's gonna come through, and again, I'm just seeing some drone work. Ayo Rev is pushed almost fully, gets almost killed. I think that was by Arab's grenade, and it looks like they're gonna come back and reconvene here on the main breach. Thermite used one of his charges to get into bottom garage, and we'll see if he uses that second one on the main wall. Munch is going to take one of those shields, and he's going to move over to rafters, and he's got a zombie waiting for him on that second, and he's also got an MP7 staring at him in the other side, 5-4 in favor of the Void.
Yeah, so Doonies puts himself on the board. Oh, there's an emergency phone call. Had to take.
No worries.
Doonies takes his first frag. He makes sure he doesn't finish with the donut there. And oh, hey Luke, Haxie just walked into bedroom. No one there to stop him. And hey Luke did not play off the barricade audio cue if there was one. And falls a Luke.
30 seconds to go. Tight here for the Paradox. Gonna have to, get a kill or two here to open this up.
Oh,
off the head of the ward, and you can. Inside, do they know there's one more here? There's a knife. There's another one.
So Toronto has flipped the pace upside down. They are just blitzing sight. Haxie's in position. Can he shut down Koyura? Koyura takes him out. It's a 1v2 now. Suddenly, the script has flipped. It's down to a DMR against two people. Haxie finds Koyura. Is Voicey going to stick to the fuse? He baits it. They peek. They're playing Ring Around the Rosie. I can't see. They can't see. Going full effect. He doesn't blind the Azami. Voicey comes up big. Acing one round and clutching another, the Vancouver Void push themselves onto match point.
What a round. What a round from both teams. Toronto again pushed the pace after the opening kill, and it almost works, besides if that stun connects. I think that's a different outcome. But Toronto pushed the pace again, and they almost do it.
I think they went a bit too deep.
I think putting that case in that deep was the mistake. You could plant it right on chassis there and get out with your life, or even plant it on the wall after you open it. But again, like I said in the interlude of the last round, they seem to like that pushing the pace thing that they didn't do those first two games. They got a kill and they sat back, or they got killed and then they sat, and then they just didn't do nothing. They kind of just froze.
I also can't forget, I think the main thing, no, I don't want to play the blame game, but Haxie pushes in deep, right into red.
Yeah. Yep.
Whiffs. Whiffs. That's a big one. That's a big flank, and Haxie goes a bit too aggro. He gets a little bit ahead of himself in red hallway. Understandable. But if that doesn't happen, that's a Toronto round, and we're looking at a 5-3 scoreline, I think.
But I mean, even the chat's pointing it out right now. Toronto is droning more.
Very true.
They are droning more.
And you can play faster when you have intel and know you're not gonna run in.
You're not running it
and
blind.
Get shot instantly.
Like, even if even a little bit more they're droning, you could already see, like, they know where these guys are. They know exactly, where the area they're at. And they have it, like, they're not running into this blindsided. Like, you are the drone. No, that's not the point of the drone. The drone is to see where you're going, not face checking everything. But I don't know how he doesn't get flashed, but that's just that. Into match point.
Yeah, match point we go, folks. The Paradox have brought every single operator has stun grenades, guys. A hefty total of 15 stun grenades are in the possession of the Toronto Paradox. And to that response, the Void have a Wamai and a Warden. Let's see how this plays out. There's also one Nitro on the board. Oh! Luke falls. Oh, but there's a second one waiting. If Wisty's waiting right there, he continues to come up big. He is Border Patrol inside of this dirt tunnel as he lights up AO Rev. The Thermite with case in hand retreats for now. Goes back on drones. He needs a bit more intel. He's going to push in, but Voisty's still waiting in dirt. He's going to peek it first, and oh, out comes a stun grenade, but that's the wrong operator to use a stun grenade against AO Rev. You've wasted one for little gain. You gained no damage onto the Warden, and you also gained absolutely nothing onto the... Oh, out comes... This impact could kill AO Rev, but does it trick the... It doesn't trick the exothermic charge. Hatch goes open. So, 4-4. The Thermite with case in hand, extremely damaged. Munch and LG are playing around the hatches as Haxie joins them. Munch, he's the first one down into the basement proper. He's going to push in next to the fridge door, into church door. He pushes, he finds one, but no! Koyura goes prone. He does the rat strat. He does the rat strat. He takes him out, but LG gets an instant refrag. They know someone's down behind the bar, but they shoot in just the wrong spot. They basically shot their own teammates' bodies. Toronto Paradox, you're playing fast and loose, but the loose part's a bit too prominent as the only player with any health left goes down. AO Rev gets shut right up. The Vancouver Void win 7-2 on Clubhouse here in Day 6, Stage 1. Wow, that was simple.
That was simple, but I mean, what a 3-round thriller on attack.
It's better than